We are back with some breaking economic data. The first inflation report since the government shutdown ended last month is now out. Inflation rose by 2.7% in November year over year. There is no month-over-month figure because the October report was canceled due to the shutdown. Here to talk more about this, our dream team, NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Cheung and Investopedia editor-in-chief and chief business editor at People Inc., Caleb Silver. We are happy, as always, to have you both with us. Brian, I will start with you over at the big board. Just walk us through these numbers, how they kind of fit into the rest of the year. Yeah, well, this is a really complicated report. In fact, there are a bunch of blanks in this report, in part because of the government shutdown during the entire month of October. But we did get numbers covering November, which we can look at on a year-over-year basis to say, okay, what did inflation look like in this country? It was obviously the focus of the president in his late-night address yesterday. But what we're talking about here are better than expected numbers. If we're talking about November to November of last year, over that year period, prices increased by 2.7%. That was below what economists had expected. They were expecting something closer to 3.1%. So inflation being lower, that is certainly a good thing. If you look at the year-over-year chart of all these numbers, you can see that certainly, yes, the worst was in the summer of 2022 when we were at 9% inflation. So 2.7% for the month of November, not that bad. That's around here. But again, this is a really complicated situation because we can't actually connect the dots between these two because we don't have October numbers. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, which usually collects this data, was closed for business. They just simply didn't get it. But nonetheless, you can see the trajectory over the last, let's call it 2 years or so, looking pretty steady in terms of consumer prices, although, of course, those of the Federal Reserve would really prefer that number be closer to 2%. 2.7%, though, not bad. And Caleb, let's bring you in here. What's your reaction to this report? What's it sort of tell us about the wider state of the economy? Yeah, partial data, but a better trend than expected. Inflation is still a thing, 2.7% growth. So that's there, but we are looking at incomplete data, so to speak. Brian will take you through the main categories, but consumers are still paying for the things they can't avoid, paying more for the things they can't avoid, like utilities, like shelter prices, like when they dine out. So that's definitely weighing on their wallets. That said, this is tamer than we expected. It could influence the way the Fed makes its next move when it meets later. We'll talk about that in a minute, but not too bad when you look at this. Brian, let's go through those categories. Yes, when we talk about the categories, again, we can only do year-over-year comparisons because we don't have October numbers. But comparing November of this year to November last year, food prices went up by 2.6%. That was better than the previous year-over-year reading of 3.1%. So food inflation coming down, although, again, that's still a plus sign. Prices are still going up despite the president's insistence that prices are going down. Energy costs, get this, up 4.2%. Electricity is a big one. That's something that Americans are thinking about as they're trying to heat their homes. Those year-over-year costs closer to 7%, 6.9% to be exact. And then shelter costs is the biggest one for most Americans, going up by 3% during the month. That is actually slower than the 3.2%, I believe it was, or 3.6% it was in the prior reading. So again, that is certainly a big cost for Americans, just putting a roof over your heads. I should also point out that apparel, these are costs that a lot of people are thinking about as they're going out and shopping, essentially flat from where they were a year ago, only up 0.2%. That might be because of the discounting in November with Black Friday sales as well. All right, Caleb, Yeah, well, 41 days, 9 minutes, and 5 hours. I'm not counting, you're counting. The Federal Reserve will meet on January 28th for the next interest rate decision. There's only about a 25% chance the Fed will cut again. Okay. And as of the last meeting, it only looks like the Fed may cut one, maybe two times in 2026. Now, this all depends on the labor market. We did get that sort of weaker than expected jobs data from the past couple of months earlier this week. If that continues to weaken, the Fed will probably cut rates more than once in 2026. That'll bring rates down again, but it could trigger some inflation. But if you have a number like 2.7%, the Fed's not going to be too concerned about inflation. They're going to be worried about the jobs market. Brian, also, people might be sort of like confused, like, hey, why are we getting some data when there was a shutdown, but not other data like inflation? Tell me how it is collected exactly. Help us understand. Yeah, I mean, the jobs report, which you talked about on Tuesday, was super complicated because we got some data, we didn't get other data. But actually, for this one, it's a little bit more cut and dry. We just didn't get any data at all for the month of October. They basically tried to predict certain categories, but for the most part, there were a lot of holes inside this report. And the reason why is because they have to collect data on 80,000 goods and services across the entire country. They also, in some cases, survey households. These are all things that you need government workers to do. When the government was shut down for the entirety of October, they couldn't go back once they got back into the office in November to retroactively ask what those prices were. That's the reason why there's no data for October, essentially. Brian and Caleb, dream team. Thank you both.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.